Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do, the usual disclaimers. So, if you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please, in particular, take note of the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non for profit started by autistics for autistics. In it, they interviewed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit. They did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic refused, so you know the drill, folks. Please read the article. Share on all your social media. Also included in there is NeuroClastic's public statement regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding just in case the JRC ever actually does see through with their threat. Trigger warning 1. When we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please make sure to use the headphones. Trigger warning 2. This channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously parental supervision is very much advised. Now back to where we left off, and then after this I gotta get the pillow because my back is not happy with me right now. I'm old. Alright. As we explained in the proposed rule, a functional behavioral assessment is critical. Thank you. We need it in capital letters and in bold red to developing a successful multi-element positive intervention or other empirically derived individualized behavioral interventions. Failure to conduct a functional behavioral assessment and do so adequately may actually lead to harm because the resulting plan may inadvertently reinforce and consequently increase the problem behavior. Thank you. Okay? Thank you. Like, I'm not saying anything here. I'm not really saying hey. Terrible allergies. Terrible. If you don't get that assessment done, you know less of what you're doing than what you thought previously, okay? You're playing Russian roulette with your child's treatment program. You don't know where to start because you set no baseline. Until a baseline is set, there is no way to know which program is going to work. If you throw a kid into a program that is maybe set for someone who had other difficulties. I used to call it you are essentially putting in my treatment programs all the things I need absolutely no help with and none of the things that I actually do. It's actually quite frustrating. It didn't happen to me very often, but it did happen on occasion, in which case we had to go back to the baseline again because, boy, even back then, I did not like repeating myself. My mom really did not like repeating herself. All right. If you put your kid in the wrong program, you can be infinitely doing more harm than you're doing good. At the very least, it provides more frustration on our end. Some programs can even induce extra anxiety. We have enough anxiety living in a world that's not built for us. We don't need any more stress than what we already have. All right? Please, for the love of God, trust me on that one. You gotta do all the steps. You can't just do diagnosis and jump into a program. You don't know what you're doing. You're going to end up throwing your kid in a bunch of programs not meant for someone with their particular issues. And yeah, they end up at a place like the JRC. Get it done. And for the love of God, teachers, care providers, schools, full functional behavioral assessment. Find a sticky note, tattoo it to your forehead, all right? Because no one's going anywhere if they don't have the information at hand to be able to determine whether this program would be good or whether that program would be good. God, I'm tired of repeating myself. Similarly, inadequately performed functional behavioral assessments could reduce the effectiveness of the resulting behavioral intervention. Remember, we got told about the JRC's bastardized version, and then we took a deep dive into it, and essentially what we learned from it, to our absolute horror, that their version is trying to find out what ways to terrify the child the most. Yeah, that's going to probably reduce the effectiveness of the program, as well as the child's willingness to work with said program. If you were at the JRC's program, and you're one of us, and you're a kid, are you really going to want to work towards something with individuals who are torturing you, starving you, and sleep depriving you? Because I'm going to say probably not. The failure to conduct an assessment or reassessment properly, or even at all, is tantamount to a failure to attempt to multi-element positive interventions. Exactly. The program's going to fail because it was the type of program that was not designed for your kid's particular issues. Okay? It's not rocket science. Get the proper full functional behavioral assessment done first, and then start looking at programs. Otherwise, yeah, you're just slinging your kid into multiple programs, which heightens anxiety, frustration, and that fun little one that pops up of anger, and when it goes on for too long, shut down. We've gone over shut down on this channel before. It's not a good thing, folks. Not a good thing at all. Then you would really start seeing some loss of skills. The failure to conduct an assessment or we already went over that, or other interventions that utilize such assessments. So the FDA is saying what I just said in the previous video. If a proper full functional behavioral assessment isn't being done, and you're throwing your kid into program after program, it's just going to make things worse, not better. It is one of the most fundamental, important things that has to be a part of starting any type of treatment program. All right? This is going to be a short one, but we're going to go ahead and close on that. It's kind of self-explanatory there. You don't get very many... Oh my goodness. Speaking of autistic fun, I'm an autistic fog brain, which means wrong words come out of my mouth in spite of what comes from my head. It's fun, kids. Very fun. I'm glad I got off work early today. Alright, we don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time, so you know the drill, folks. Please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the comments. I appreciate your time. As always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. I'll see you again here in a few minutes. Bye-bye, everyone.